You to see this. I want to show you what he did.
He stuck a finger up her. Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
You got
The Rees Company. By the way, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. The Rees Company. Crack open a tepid Genesee and watch the pictures as they travel through your neighbor's Wi-Fi. It's the Rees Company. I'm Steve Rees, the bull of American broadcasting, alongside the great Chris Morganti. How are you tonight, Chris?
I'm firing on all cylinders, Steve.
Well, I think you're very excited because we both watched the entirety of a very exciting made-for-TV after-school special.
Well, I hate to contradict you, but due to a sudden power outage, which I blame on my landlord, Don Wallance Auto Sales of Spring City, Pennsylvania. Due to a power outage, I did not get to see the last, I think 10 minutes, maybe 11 of this, I'm sure, wonderful film that we're about to watch.
Well, this is very exciting to me because now it's a surprise ending I get to share with you.
Great. I can't wait.
All right. In that case, let's go to it. Our movie of the week
Now, Steve, before we get into this, I want to clarify, because people would probably be confused when I said my landlord is a used car dealer. But yes, that is in fact the situation. I live next door to a used car lot, and they're also my landlords. Just want to clear that up. So, this is about drugs, right?
Yes. In fact, drug is in the title. It's called The Drug Knot, and it aired on September 10th, 1986.
The Drug Knot, like K-N-O-T.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was produced as a CBS Schoolbreak Special, but the network opted instead to air it in prime time.
Yeah.
Directed by, did you catch this?
Yes.
Anson Williams.
Yeah.
TV's Potsy. From Happy Days.
Yeah.
It features a young Dermut Mulroney who went on to do 1,000 projects. Probably best known for co-starring with Julia Roberts in My Best Friend's Wedding.
Yeah. So a lot of forgettable projects is what he did.
All right. Tracy Nelson is also in this. She's showbiz royalty. She's the granddaughter of early sitcom stars Ozzie and Harriet Nelson, the daughter of rock and roll legend Ricky Nelson.
Oh, wow.
And also the sister of Matthew and Gunnar Nelson, who recorded and released rock music. Now, I used that line in one of our first episodes when we talked about Kate's Secret, but no one watched that, so I thought I'd try it again.
Fair enough.
Now I realized it's just not that great a line. Now, Chris, you recognize her from something else.
Yeah, she was George Costanza's girlfriend. And Jim, if you could bring up the picture, she was notable because George felt that he was only dating her because she looked like Jerry, and he had like a whatever you want to call it type of relationship with her.
It was a way of having a romantic relationship with his best friend.
Yeah, he could have everything he wanted with his friend Jerry, but also have sex with her. So that's where I think she was also. You mentioned earlier. She played a nun.
Right. Father Dowling Mysteries, yeah.
Yeah, and that ran for a long time. So she had like a long TV career.
But the real star of the show is a guy called Dave Toma.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, we tell you who he is now, but he made sure his entire resume was jackhammered into the script, so you'll hear all of his accomplishments. Now, Dermut Mulroney, he plays a teenage musician, and Tracy, she's his girlfriend. Dermut has this deal going with the coach, the high school coach, to practice his saxophone in the boys' locker room. And I guess it's track season, and that room hasn't been in use since that big meet where the entire team's hearts exploded.
Yeah.
We've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Big problem in the 80s, we've learned.
Yeah. There was also an incident with the trophy case, as I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. These things happen.
Often.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Hey, why don't you join me?
I shouldn't even be in here.
Here, just hold this microphone. No one can complain.
You know, what is going on with this school's music department where this kid needs to play the sax? He needs to cut a deal with the football coach to play his saxophone in the locker room. They can't give you some practice space?
Yeah, it seems unlikely.
Yeah.
Now, that wasn't a pall mall that Dermut was holding there. He and Tracy, they're dabbling in marijuana.
Yeah.
And Dermut has his eye on joining a local band. So to that end, he attends an audition. First, though, he gets high, which we're about to learn is a bad idea if you want to play a jazz instrument.
Oh, yeah. That's the wrong road.
Yeah.
Doug, come here, man.
What?
This isn't working out, all right?
Oh, hey, I'm just a little nervous. Let's take it from the top.
We're just not together, all right?
Yeah, look, Chris, I'm not a musician, but let's face it.
Well, you're a bassist.
I am well, exactly.
Yeah. So not a musician?
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Now, Herbie Hancock over there, he's not bringing it exactly his own self, is he? In fact, I was reluctant to play that scene for fear that we'd mistakenly, but understandably, receive a copyright claim from someone who owns the rights to audio of a young mother being told her 8-year-old was mauled by polar bears during recess. So there's an assembly in the high school gym. The principal, who Rance Howard, by the way, another Happy Days connection.
Yeah, the least famous of the Howard brothers, I would say.
But he's the patriarch of the Howard clan.
Oh, he's the No, he's the father?
Rance Howard, yes.
Oh, I thought he was one of the brothers.
No.
Oh, yeah, this was 40 years ago. Right, so that would make sense. Yeah. By the way, Steve, if you probably thought I was texting about my housing situation, but that's not actually what I was doing when I was on my phone. I was looking up how many states have legalized marijuana. 23.
No, that's almost half.
Yeah. Yeah. So this whole thing is probably inexplicable to half of I don't know. The times have changed since 1986.
But there's also a discussion about alcohol, which has been legal since.
I know. I'm going to have more to say.
Almost 100 years.
Yeah, almost 100, almost 90. But I'll have more to say about that later.
Okay. Well, so Rance Howard, he's the principal, and he introduces a guest speaker called Dave Toma, who plays himself, a man who needs an introduction. And man, are we going to hear it.
Attention, please. I'm anxious for you to meet this special guest lecturer today. He's a man whom I promise you, students, you are never, ever going to forget. David Toma is a former boxing champ in the Marines, professional baseball player, and police officer. For 16 years, he fought the mob as a detective.
Wait. Pause, please. I did not catch this on my first run through. Professional baseball player and police officer?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't stop there.
What? Do we know who he played for?
We don't know about the baseball career.
Now, you could say you're a professional, but you never made the major leagues. You could have played single A.
Right.
So, okay, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
And that is a claim you can make.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
I'm not shitting on that at all.
It's also not relevant to his anti-drug crusade.
I would disagree, but you would have to see what he's doing here to.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we're going to see a lot of this. Yeah.
Narcotic squad in Newark, New Jersey. Toma has been shot, stabbed, and hospitalized more than 30 times for every injury imaginable. And 2 television series have been based on him. Toma and Baretta.
Okay. The show Toma was based on him.
Yeah.
That's true. Baretta? That's not entirely true. Toma ran for a season. Ever hear of it, Chris?
No.
Of course not. Its lead character left the series after 1 season, the guy who was playing Toma. And instead of recasting another actor in that role, producers opted to rebuild the show around Robert Blake. They gave him a cockatoo, a Sammy Davis theme song, and called the show Baretta after its new main character. No remnant of the Toma character or his story remained. So no, Baretta was not based on Dave Toma. They had to create Baretta to salvage a show that was based on him. So basically, as soon as he and his story were removed from the program, people started to watch it. So I'd stop making this claim if I were him.
Yeah, or adopt a cockatoo and then
Right.
merge the two things.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see some more of this.
And now it is my pleasure to bring you not the actor, but the real man.
Clearly.
Who has
He
lived an
seems
incredible
troubled,
life.
Steve.
Yeah.
David Toma.
Okay, can we pause? Yeah, he crosses himself. Oh, please let these kids buy my bullshit. Please, Lord. All right.
There's a lot going on. He seems he needs to psych himself up, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then look at the strut he has when he walks in.
Yeah, well, we're going to see the strut in a minute, but does this remind you of anything, Chris? When we did stand-up,
Okay.
did you ever work with any headliners who
Oh yeah.
would insist on their introductions being correct to the letter?
Yeah. And also a lot of non-headliners who walked in the same way, including probably myself. So
I certainly believe I'm guilty of this as well.
Yeah, we all are. Yeah.
But the idea of the introduction being so important to certain people.
At one point I had I was doing a character in stand-up. So I'd like, well, this is only going to work if I get this introduction. And the guy, I was wrong. I was completely wrong about that. But the guy who had to read this was like, "What the?" And he deadpan his way through the whole thing and set me up for failure. And I deserved it. I deserved it. You should not need any introduction to anything. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. Well, not true, Toma. He believes that that is the case. Let's continue.
Can we pause? That's a thunderous round of applause for these kids. Have no idea who this guy is,
Right, and he's done nothing yet.
They're acting like he's Louis C.K. What's going on here?
I want all of you to listen to me very closely this morning. I just come back from a high school 4 days ago. 4 kids are dead. They're dead.
Because they thought it was funny to say that Toma must be short for tomato pie. It's not long at all, Chris, before we start to notice a pattern in Toma's tales.
Okay.
But we're going to skip ahead to another of his anecdotes.
Oh, are we going non-chronological here?
Oh, yeah, no, we are.
Okay. This is chronological.
It is.
Oh, okay.
All of the scenes are chronological.
Okay. All right.
Some of the things they're putting in grass will blow your mind. But I want to tell you a little story of a kid I had a little while back in Baltimore, Maryland.
Little while
Young boy, 19 years of age, on the streets, completely naked. The cops pick him up, take him to headquarters. While they're in headquarters, they take the handcuffs off him, throw him in a cell. He's in a cell, he comes running at the policeman, he's hollering, "I want to get out, I want to get out, I'll kill you." The cop walks away. A few minutes later, the captain on the desk says to the policeman, "Go find out why that kid is screaming at the top of his lungs." The cop goes back.
Let's get out of here.
And he said, Dave, I was sick. That boy was out on the streets before he got locked up, smoked a joint. Somebody laced it with dust. When the cop got back to that cell, the kid had his right hands on the bars like this, shaking the bars like this, shaking them.
Shaking the
With
bars.
his left hand, he took both his eyeballs right out.
Yeah. A little while back, a kid loads himself up with PCP and gouges his own eyes out in a Baltimore jail cell. True story.
Is it?
It is, but one problem.
Okay.
Actually, two. No one knows for sure what drug this kid was on. He had taken drugs, a whole bunch of them, but whether PCP was in the mix was never determined. Also, it wasn't a little while back, but 15 years before this program aired.
So you don't think this is a first-hand story?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, all right. I mean, would it really all that be laced in a joint? I don't. I think the kid may have been up to something else that night. I don't know.
Well, apparently he had a cup full of drugs and he had taken a lot of the drugs that were in the cup.
Yeah. That's not, he said it was laced in a joint. He didn't know.
Yes, because he's an alarmist.
Yeah.
And he thinks this works. And we'll get to why it doesn't later. I think we're probably on the same page.
Yeah, we're going to.
Dermut is late for this anti-drug assembly because he's too busy smoking drugs.
Yeah.
We saw him arrive and find Tracy in the bleachers. Toma is not best pleased with this disruption.
Hey, he's been smoking pot for a long time. Why? You don't want to hear what I got to say? Get out, you punk! Get out of here!
Take it easy, man.
Tell your parents I threw you out. Get out of here!
All right, all right.
Don't play with me. Don't play with your family.
Yeah. So Dermut leaves the campus. Now, I'm not sure what Toma's logic is here. His goal, he says, his stated goal, is to keep kids from using drugs. Yet, as he continues his tirade to a bunch of kids who are probably 90% innocent, the newly dismissed Dermut now has the opportunity to do this.
Yeah, Jimbo, Doug. Yeah, no problem. It was good. It's good stuff. Thanks. I was calling because I think I'm going to take you up on the blow. Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps the one kid in that gymnasium who needed to be reached, and Toma threw him out.
Yeah.
I'm starting to question Toma's practices. Maybe, just maybe, he'll prove me wrong.
Well, he did tell everyone in the gym that kid needs help. And maybe that'll come into play later. Who knows?
Who knows? Let's hear more of what Toma has to say.
Campaign. I had a kid recently, I walked into a school. The kid is in a room, 19 years of age, shaking like this, shaking. He's going like this. Mr. Toma, I got to talk to you. Mr. Toma, I got to talk to you. I said, son, talk. What's the matter? I feel like I got millions of bugs in my eyes. I can't get them out of my eyes. I can't get them out of my... He says, please help me. That kid, 3 weeks after I left that school, committed suicide. Nobody helped that kid.
Yeah. Okay, now, if you're not keeping a tally, let me help you out. At this point in his speech, Toma, by his own admission, Toma has a body count of 5. I'm not sure he realizes he's posting an L, as the kids say, and please stop saying that, kids. In fact, that would be my high school speech. I would like to travel the country talking to teenagers about the importance of credible language.
Yeah.
No matter. Toma tells on himself that perhaps his program is at best impotent, at worst counterproductive. I think the latter, as we've hinted, and we'll get to that a little later. But for now, Toma's speech continues.
I tell you of another kid I had in California just recently. Kid comes in a room like this. Some of the kids in the room
Can we pause it? I'm sorry, Steve. I don't. I guess it's just the New York accent, but I'm listening to this guy and I'm thinking of Andrew Dice Clay. A kid comes into me. I'm not going to. I don't want to get us in trouble, so let's just keep going.
Walked over to the kid like this. I said, "Oh my God, son, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're all burnt out. All of you. I want you to see this. I want to show you what he did.
He stuck a finger up her. Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
He got a tissue like this. He put it up his left nostril like this. And took it out the right side.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that. Do you know anyone that is that real? Can you really wear out your septum from doing enough cocaine?
Anecdotally, there was a star of EastEnders who had to have it replaced because she had used too much cocaine and her septum was eroded
Anecdotally.
to nothing. Yes.
So it's like the Stevie Nicks story that we all know.
Okay.
Did that really happen? I don't know.
All right, but the amazing thing is this kid he met who did that.
By the way, if you don't, do people not know this? Do we need to go over the Stevie Nicks story?
People probably today do not know, but go ahead.
I don't know. Nah.
No, yeah, you can't
Google it.
introduce something,
Google it,
and then not talk about it. That's bad showbiz.
Well, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, we're not.
We're doing this again?
No, we're not doing anything.
She liked to have a gentleman, Stevie Nicks, Steve.
Yeah.
Singer of Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
She liked to have a gentleman put cocaine in a straw and then blow it up her asshole because you get a better high that way. All right. People could have Googled that, but showbiz.
Can we go to 24 minutes? I'm sorry. Can we go to 23:40? There we go. Yeah.
Oh, he's still working
He
the
got a
handkerchief?
tissue like this. He put it up his left nostril like this.
I thought we already did this. That's
did.
why I was
And
telling
took
this.
it out the right side.
Oh, you're doing it again?
You know
Look,
why?
she's horrified.
The coke had decayed.
All right, stop. Okay, we may as well just push ahead. No, actually, let's just continue.
Why did you want to see it again?
Because that was a setup for something that we're not going to do now. So we're just going to continue, and we'll see the rest of we'll see where we were going with this. Go ahead. Continue, please, Jim.
Here. It rotted it away. He needed an operation bad. But they couldn't operate. You want to know why? 2 weeks after I left the school, he committed suicide. He hung himself.
6. It's a body count of 6.
Yeah.
That's a whole hockey team not making it to the ice that night because I have a feeling Toma's way of dealing with these kids is saying, hey, knock it off.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not what you want to put in the proposal when you want to speak to these high schools. Right. Well, is it effective?
Well, it depends. Do you like children? Toma now turns his attention to another child killer. So tell us about it, Dave.
Society is doing a little thing called alcohol. I want all of you to sit there and think about this for one moment. With all the diseases in this society throughout the world, the number one killer in America right now, your age, is alcohol.
Chris.
Sponsored by Genesee Cream Ale.
But Chris, the number one killer of young people in America being alcohol, that's a good thing, no?
I don't follow you, Steve.
Well, isn't that how we want it? Would we prefer the number one cause of death among young people to be some horrible, incurable illness just randomly and wantonly striking down children?
Yeah.
I like living in a country where, in order for a young person to die, he pretty much has to do it himself.
You are 100% right about this, Steve, and thank you for bringing that up. The number one killer 40 years before this was filmed was probably polio. But thank God we got rid of that, and now all we have to worry about is people making bad choices.
Exactly. Toma concludes his speech and offers to talk to students one-on-one. Now, we've omitted Dermot's meantime activities.
I'm sorry. Does polio actually kill people, or is it just cripple them
I think
horribly?
it's debilitating. It's just debilitating, and it's just a miserable life for.
I just talk, and I drink. I don't know what I'm doing.
So in the meantime, while since he was ejected from the proceedings, Dermut, he's gotten up to some activities. We saw one such activity. He called his dealer
Yeah.
and ordered some cocaine. So he makes that deal. He takes it home. And while he's using it, he's unaware that his little brother, who's played by David Faustino, by the way, from Married with Children, Bud Bundy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's home from school with a cold. And
Well, that's just a ruse to proposition the nurse that his mom is going to call. I've seen a lot of episodes of Married with Children.
so Dermut is using the cocaine, and without Dermot's knowledge, David sees him snorting the drugs. So Dermut then makes it back to school just after Toma wraps up his diatribe. Toma espies Dermut in the corridor.
Get down to counseling.
Hey, Laura.
I want to help you, okay?
Well, let's go.
Get you some. Hey, man.
What?
Come here, man. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, I think I heard enough of your talking there, okay, man?
I want to help.
Look, you got plenty of fans. Go help them. Go help them, all right? Come on, Lori.
Yeah, smart move, Dermut. We all know what happens when you have a one-on-one with old Davy Lastrites. Tracy is not deterred by Toma's track record. She meets with him anyway, and he tells Tracy to go to Dermot's parents and tell them what their son has been up to.
Yeah, weird advice. Really off the chart. Not what you would tell
You think
a kid.
this might be a reason why his program is so
Yeah.
counterproductive? This is a symptom?
Yeah. I don't know that he has the pulse on the youth of the nation.
Well, Tracy takes his advice.
She does, yeah.
And when she shows up at the door, Dermot's mother answers. At first, his mother's in denial about what Tracy's saying about Dermot's drug use. But she comes around, though.
Oh, really? So some random chick shows up and starts screaming that your son's a drug addict. You're skeptical? I don't know. Well, I mean, she was right, but still, it's a weird thing to do, man.
Yeah. Well, Dermot's mother tries to recruit her husband, Dermot's father, to attend Toma's powwow that evening again at the school gymnasium. Dermot's dad has an important business deal that's going down that night, and he can't attend. And this is something we see. We haven't seen it so much in these movies, but this happens in movies and TV shows all the time, but especially movies. The man who's painted as a villain, since he refuses to throw his career away because he promised his son to attend the big meet, or a piano recital, or in this case, some over-cologned ex-cop berating the townspeople. Meantime, that son has a lot fewer worries in life than most of us had growing up, because his dad not only isn't a jobless deadbeat, he actually takes his work seriously. That's a good lesson for the boy involved, but that's not the angle Hollywood likes to take.
You know what? I see what you're saying, but we also saw him yell at the kid.
Yeah, well, the folks didn't see that, but yeah, he was trying to, and he is the parent who is trying to set his son straight.
The mother is like, "Oh, it's okay."
Yeah, she's much more lenient and enabling.
Yeah, but there's no reason for this guy to be yelling at this kid. He's yelling at him because he lost his job at, I don't know, a car wash. I don't know what the hell it was, but that's no reason to yell at your kid. So I see it a little differently. Like, the kid lost his job? Talk to him about it. There's no reason for you to be angry. I don't know.
Well, we don't know how many times this has occurred in the past. That's not made clear.
Well, then the kid has a problem that you should help him with. Why are you yelling at him? The father is mad at the kid. You know what? We're going a little bit into the weeds here. I'm sorry. But the father's mad at the kid because he can't keep a job and he's not making money. But it's not like if your kid stole money from you, that'd be a reason to yell at them and be angry. If they can't keep a job, you got to help them out. Like, I don't see the dad as being a bad guy.
Well, fair.
We
I don't
agree
know
on that.
Yes,
We agree on
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I'm just saying he shouldn't have yelled at him, and that makes him less sympathetic. Sorry, I'm derailing
Fair
let's
enough.
continue.
No, you're not. Dermot's mother is already going to this thing, so that should suffice.
Yeah.
And let's see what Toma has to say to this new crowd.
Look around here. Look. This town wants to know what's wrong. This is what's wrong. These stands should be full. You know why they're not full tonight? There are too many parents watching games, in their bars drinking. They're doing their thing. Then they want me to come here and save your kids' lives. Well, I ain't going to save your kids' lives. That's your damn job, not mine.
Wow.
Now, what happened, Steve? Because didn't we just see that dude talking to the drug kid?
Yeah.
Was there an intermission in this show?
Oh, no, this was this evening. He has a
repeat performance?
A seminar in the evening for the parents of the kids.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what Tracy asked Dermut's mother to attend.
Yeah, he did say, bring your parents.
Yeah.
So I know.
And that's what we're seeing now.
No,
now,
this is the part I didn't see because my power went off because of Don Wallance Auto Sales in Spring City, Pennsylvania.
Okay, well, at the end of that last clip, he was saying, "It's not my. I can't save your kids. You have to." It sounds to me, Chris, like someone has a guilty conscience about the trail of dead he's left from coast to coast.
It could be it.
So ultimately, his advice for the parents is to talk to their children, listen to them, touch them, make them feel loved, and spend more time with them. So Dermut's mother talks to Toma after the speech. Toma promises to get help for her family, by which I assume he'd recommend a reputable undertaker. Meantime, Dermut returns home to a parentless house.
Oh, no.
He discovers that while home alone, David Faustino got into his cocaine stash.
Jesus.
But the boy is nowhere to be found.
That little punk. Louie! Louie!
I'm begging you.
7. Body count of 7.
That we know of.
Yeah. Kid didn't even get to meet Tommy Lee. The boy would not have been left unsupervised.
Oh, man.
The boy would not have been left unsupervised had his mother not attended Toma's little get-together.
Yeah, you're right. That's blood on his hands.
Yeah. So anything else you want to say before we rate this, Chris?
This was 1986 when this happened. And I was not far off from the target demographic age of all of this. I remember there was Nancy Reagan. You remember as well, Nancy Reagan, just say no. All that stuff. They just wanted you to just say no. Meanwhile, at the same time, there was the AIDS epidemic going on. It was an incurable disease at that point. It was basically a death sentence, not like it is now. But they took a different route. I don't know how it was for you, Steve, but my school sex ed was, here's how you get a girl pregnant, and here's how you prevent that from happening. They didn't just say don't have sex, but they took a whole different route with the whole drug thing, saying just don't do it. And I don't know if they still do that, but it seems like that would be a smarter move to just give kids the facts,
right,
instead of trying to scare them into whatever this was.
Exactly. That's the problem with abstinence education regarding many things, but also drugs and alcohol like we saw here. It's the reality that folks like Toma often try to portray. It's one of absolute and immediate horror, from beer and marijuana all the way up to crack. So what happens is these kids at some point they'll go to a party and they'll see their friends having a few drinks and having fun without plowing a bulldozer through the St. Jude's Hospital Easter egg hunt.
Yep.
And they probably think, well, I guess they lied to us about alcohol.
Yep.
Maybe what they said about harder drugs was also a lie. It's counterproductive to the stated aims of these programs.
Yes, you and I are in complete agreement about this, and we took the same thing away from this film. that I mean, we're middle-aged men. If you're a child seeing this, I don't know what your takeaway is. I don't know.
No, I don't think it works as a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
I'm giving it one Meredith Baxter, and the lone Meredith Baxter is for how the show does work if viewed as one man's heartfelt confession of complete incompetence.
You know what? I'm going to totally agree with you on all of that and give it one Meredith Baxter as well.
So we agree. In that case, anything else we didn't talk about you might like to talk about?
Oh, yeah, but no.
Okay, yeah. Well, in that case, I think we did it. Thanks so much. I'm Steve Rees for Jim Corhan and Chris Morgani. Oscar,
Go Phillies.
We did it, Seth.